Chapter 6 The Cardinal's Spies. Meanwhile, Monsieur Bonacieux had been arrested and taken to the Bastille. In an underground cell he was questioned by an officer of the cardinal's guards. "Prisoner," said the officer, "you and your wife are accused of plotting against France." "Plotting? But I know nothing," cried Bonacieux, "and my wife has been kidnapped." "Do you know who kidnapped her?" "I suspect it was the tall, dark nobleman who wears a patch over his left eye." The officer stopped writing, and looked up in surprise. "This is a matter for the cardinal himself to handle," he said. He summoned two guards who led Bonacieux out of the Bastille and into a closed carriage. The carriage sped across Paris and finally stopped at the back door of a large dark building. Bonacieux was pushed through the door and up a flight of stairs. Inside an elegantly furnished room, he found himself facing a gray-haired man of medium height. The man had a proud face and piercing eyes. A small red cap covered the back of his head, and his long red robe hung to the floor. Around his neck he wore a large gold cross. This man was Cardinal Richelieu, the most powerful man in France. "So you are Bonacieux," said the cardinal with a sneer. "You are accused of plotting against France along with your wife and the Duke of Buckingham." "But my wife has been kidnapped, Monseigneur, and when I described her kidnapper to your officer at the Bastille, he brought me here." The cardinal picked up a silver bell and rang it. Seconds later, a tall, dark man with a patch over his left eye appeared at the door. "It is he!" cried Bonacieux, "the man who kidnapped my wife!" Richelieu smiled and rang the bell again. Two guards entered. "Take this prisoner out," he ordered, "and hold him until I need him." As soon as the door had closed behind Bonacieux, Richelieu turned to the man and smiled. "Well, Rochefort," he said, "you have been recognized by that idiot Bonacieux. But no matter. What have you to report, my friend?" "Hardly your friend, Eminence, rather your most trusted spy. However, this time I failed you. I've let Madame Bonacieux escape. But she is no longer important, for I have far more interesting news. The Queen and the Duke have seen each other at the palace." "What took place between them?" asked Richelieu. "One of the Queen's ladies-in-waiting was listening behind a curtain," said Rochefort, "and she reported that the Queen gave Buckingham her ribbon of diamond studs as a token of her love. That should be of great interest to King Louis, since he gave her those studs on her last birthday." "Very well done, Rochefort," said the cardinal. "Those diamonds, which are now in England, shall be the Queen's downfall. I shall contact my Lady de Winter in London. She is at the court quite often and is sure to see the Duke wearing the studs. I shall have her steal 2 studs and bring them to me." Richelieu sat down and quickly wrote the letter. "Here," he said, handing it to Rochefort. "Give it to your fastest horseman, and tell him to leave for London immediately, and have the guards bring Bonacieux back in." The terrified man entered and fell to his knees. "How can I convince your Eminence of my innocence?" he cried. "Rise, my friend," said Richelieu, offering his hand. "I have been mistaken about you. You are an honest man." "The cardinal believes me!" cried Bonacieux joyously. "He calls me his friend." "Yes, my friend," replied Richelieu, his voice full of pretended sympathy. "You've been unjustly arrested, and I must apologize. Here, take this sack of 100 pistoles, and do not be angry with me." Bonacieux bowed to the ground. "Oh, thank you, Monseigneur. You are a great man." But the great man was thinking, "Ah, now I have another spy. One who shall spy on his wife."